Hello everyone, my name's Frank and I'm glad that you're here. When students are working on labs or exercises, they may want to speak with you one-on-one for clarification or to ask questions. And a great way to do that is by using the chat function in Microsoft Teams. However, that can also become difficult to manage if you have a large class and you have 5 or 6 students all wanting to speak with you at the same time. Managing those conversations and making sure that students know that you're with another student is important. We want to be able to let people know that we're there to help them, but we also want them to know that if I'm helping another student, they may have to wait their turn. Plus, if we get a lot of different chats from both staff and students, it can be difficult to keep those separated and make sure that I'm keeping on top of all of my conversations. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you some tricks around Microsoft Chat that will make things a lot easier when you're managing chat in a teaching environment. Let's go have a look. Here I am in my chat, and you can see that I've got 3 folks that have sent me chat messages, and I know that I have new chat messages here because these are all in bold. Now imagine if you had a classroom with 30, 40, or even 100 students. This could become quite hard to manage. So there's a few things that we can do to make it a lot easier to manage. First of all, if I have anybody that's got this chat coming in, I can go here and I can pop this chat out. So now what I'm able to do is I can start stacking all of the different chats that are active just by popping them all out. And this is a great way if I have a lot of different students, maybe 4 or 5 students that are all trying to chat with me at once. I can keep these chats sort of on a separate monitor, or I can keep them on a separate area of my computer. I can also stack them up a little bit here so I can get to them in order. One of the nice things I can do is if I put a message here, and I can have a standard message here, say, maybe I'll be with you shortly. So what I can do is if I put a little message here, I'll be with you shortly, I can copy that message, and then what I can quickly do is just fire it off to all of these chat folks, just pop it in, and now everybody knows that I'll be with them shortly, and they know that I'm with someone else. Now it will also happen that if I'm in a chat here, up top here, I can bring this over, I can go in and I can start a video or a call with that individual, so that'll be a one-on-one conversation, and then my status will change. And when my status changes, it'll indicate to others that I'm currently with someone or in a call. I can also go in and I can share the screen. So let's say I'm having students working in a lab environment. I can go in, I can share my screen with them and show them something individually as opposed to sharing it with the entire class. Also, let's say I have an educational assistant that's helping me with teaching. I can call them into the meeting as well, or call them, not a meeting, I'll call them into the chat so that we can both help this individual, or maybe I'll call the educational assistant in and then they'll be in there and they'll share their screen so they can help this student while I go on and start working with some of the other students that might need my help. I'm going to close down these popped out windows for now. And I'm just going to go into the chat up here as well. Now when you start getting a lot of chats in here, you may have chats for different classrooms, or you may have chats for, say, staff chats versus student chats. You can also go into here, and underneath the ellipse, you can go in and mark it as unread if you want to make sure that you come back to that student. You can pin chats to the top. So let's say for some reason, let's say Bruce is actually an educational assistant with me. I might want to pin his chat up to the top. And now what will happen is all my student chats will be at the bottom, and then my staff chats will be up in the pinned section, so I can kind of keep them into 2 groups. Unfortunately at this point there's no way of creating chat folders, if you would, where I could have a staff folder and I could have a student folder, or I could have a folder for each class. That would be a very handy feature, so Microsoft, if you're listening, we would like that. And if I go in there, I can also go in and I can add people to favorite contacts. So now Bruce is just added to a favorite contact. And then I can go in here, I can mute a certain chat, I can notify when someone's available. So let's say, for example, I have, Diana here currently is available, and you can see Clark is currently unavailable. So I can go in and have a notification when Clark becomes available. And then if Clark goes in, so if I have Clark maybe come into the environment here, and Clark changes their status, you'll notice that Clark became available, and I actually have a notification that he's now available, and I'm able to go and help him. I can also go into the chats here and go into the chat here, and I can manage various apps within the chat. So underneath here, I could add things, there's a whole bunch of different apps in here. So I can go in and add those in there, and I can go in and chat and work with those different things. So let's go to Bruce, for example. I could do an @ and I could do forms. If I want to do like a quick survey within this individual chat, I could do a quick survey and ask him a question and collect that information. So you can also use, within the chat, you can use some of the apps that you may have installed in your environment. So these are all great things that I can do. You can also go in and filter your chat. So if you want to look for a specific individual, you can filter by name. You can also separate this between unread and read. And you can also look for chats that were part of a meeting. You can also look at anybody that you've currently muted in order to find them quickly. So I'll just close that down. But I'll go in and I'll maybe filter by name and I'll put in Bruce. This is going to be a very easy thing to do because it'll just separate Bruce out from the rest of the chat in there. And then when I'm done, I can close that and all the chats come back. That's actually handy if you go into a meeting environment, so you can go by meeting and then you can filter by the name or the meeting chat that you were in. Currently I don't have any meeting chats, but you can see I can go in and filter by meeting as well, filter by name, or just leave it unfiltered with the pinned ones still at the top. You can also create a new chat with somebody that's not in your list. So let's say, for example, I want to do a chat with Victor. So I have a person here. I think it's going to be Arthur then. So let's see if Arthur's in there. Oh, Albert Einstein. Okay, so I want to do a chat with Albert Einstein, and I say, hello, Albert. So I can send the chat off to Albert. Currently, when it goes off here, you can see that Albert's currently offline, and I can then go in and notify me when he's available. Again, new chat, and I'll just go in. I can also discard the chat. So let's say I've also gone through and we've been finished with this chat here. I can go in and I can discard it, or let's say I don't want to discard it, but I can hide it. So I can also go in and hide it, and when I hide that chat, no longer is it there. So what I can do if I want to bring her back, what I'll do is I'll just start a new chat. I'll put in her name. You can see I've got Diana in there, and notice the chat that we previously had all comes back. It keeps all the previous chat information in there as well.
I hope this video was useful, and if it was, hit the like button and subscribe and share with colleagues that could benefit from this. I really appreciate your taking the time to watch this video, and here's some more videos on the channel that you might be interested in. See you in the next video.